What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Raging Atheist. I am the Raging Atheist, and it's part 2 of me versus Shock of God. And he's going to get right back into his list, so let's take it right back from where we stopped.
Now, another problem that atheists bring up is they want to get around the fact that the universe had a beginning, but the problemo with that is that nothing can't create.
I don't think there's a single atheist that says that the universe didn't have a beginning. That is pretty fucking crazy, and it's pretty fucking crazy for you to say that we're fucking saying that. We don't say that shit. Stop spreading lies about us. Stop demonizing us. Most atheists subscribe to the Big Bang Theory, and that theory involves matter meeting antimatter and banging into the universe. And the universe over the millennia has grown, and it is still growing, it is expanding, it is still getting bigger. So I'm pretty sure we know the beginning. I mean, I'm pretty fairly fucking certain that there at the beginning, when there was "let there be light," that there wasn't a God there saying "let there be light." There was a fucking explosion.
Say I said there's a big semi-truck over here on the left when I go around this corner. Notice, I don't have any evidence of that. Okay? There might not be a big semi-truck around the corner here. I have no evidence of that. But look through the camera here. Even though I have no evidence of it, there obviously are semis there. But let's say you didn't see it on the camera. Does that mean now there's no semi-trucks there? Of course not. But atheists, you've got to quit that stupid thinking.
This is just another one of his nonsensical, illogical, moronic fucking arguments. Why does there have to be a semi there? There might not be a fucking semi there. Did you think about that? Maybe there's a bike there, a motorcycle. Maybe there's a car. Maybe there's a SUV there. Why does it have to be a semi? Well, there has to be a semi there. Why? Why does there have to be a semi there? You're not explaining your moronic fucking argument.
You guys do. It's just embarrassing for you. You'll say because there's no evidence of something, listen, therefore it doesn't exist. That's not logical. It's not really logical.
Atheists do not say that. We do not say that God does not exist. What we do say is we don't know if God exists, but we're fairly certain that the stories aren't true. The stories created by human beings to control other human beings, those aren't true. And if you think they're true, then you're a fucking idiot. We don't say that because there's no evidence that he doesn't exist. We say there's a very good likelihood that he doesn't exist at all. But see, what unites us anti-theists is that we've come to the conclusion that the stories are bullshit. That's what unites us. We go our separate ways after that. We have our own ideas, our own fucking imaginings about it because we're free to do so. Because we're not subscribed to your cult that tells us what we have to fucking think.
Look at all the semi-trucks. So you don't say something doesn't exist because you don't have evidence of it. An atheist, you cannot say that because you don't even know what's in 99.9% of the rest of the universe, let alone the spiritual realm. So how can you arrogantly say that based on evidence that God doesn't exist when you don't even know what's in the 99.9% of the rest of the universe? It's just so stupid.
Again, he's giving you a nonsensical argument trying to make atheists look stupid. But he's giving away his own stupidity. You see, we don't pretend to know. There could be a fucking God up there existing on planet Zion. Who fucking knows? Could have been the Anunnaki. Who fucking knows? I don't pretend to know. What I do know is the stories aren't true. And what did the stories say? What did people believed until we actually broke the fucking atmosphere and got into space? They believed that heaven was right up there. They believed that God was right up there looking down on us. We know that's not true.
But even if there were no evidence of God, that still doesn't mean that God doesn't exist. That's right. You have to give arguments against God's existence. The onus, the burden of proof is on you.
Why is the burden of proof on us? Why do we have to prove something that you made up or people like you made up? Why would we have to prove that? We have science on our side. We have archaeology on our side. We have history that says something completely different than what you say on our side. We have logical thinking on our side. I mean, in no other situation would it be taken seriously if I were to come up to you and give you any situation where a snake talks. Maybe hissing, but not talking. You need to prove that that's possible. Why do I need to prove that it's possible that a snake can talk? A snake doesn't have vocal cords, and we might have gotten into that in the last video. Might be getting into it here a little bit because he's gonna compare apes, and apes is a different animal. It's a different breed. It's the closest mammal in the animal kingdom to a human being, and it has a lot of the same organs as a human being, including vocal cords and a voice box, things that a snake just doesn't have. And I might have just given away an argument for later.
Oh yeah, atheists will incorrectly say there's many other religions, therefore, don't do it. They'll say, therefore, none of the religions are true. If I asked everyone here what 72 times 12, and you can't use a calculator, we're going to get a lot of different answers, but there's only one right answer. Just because there's only one right answer and there's a lot of wrong answers doesn't mean there's not one right answer.
All right, so this consummate idiot is making our argument for us while he's trying to denounce our argument. What an idiot. Shock of God, you're a moron. Please respond to me. I dare you. So yeah, he's making our argument for us. He's literally saying that if you... And I'm not going to give you the equation he gave you. I'll give you my own. Say I throw out to a crowded room, right? I throw out to a crowded room that what is 938 times 168? Now, if there's 150 people in that crowded room, we're probably going to get 150, maybe 149 different answers. Maybe 2 people will get it right the first time they just blurt out an answer. And that's his argument. And I don't think atheists say that means that God doesn't exist. It just means that you're a fool to believe these stories. And it means that, well, if God does exist, what makes you right and everybody else wrong? I mean, what is the crapshoot of that? There's been tens of thousands of religions, tens of thousands more spiritualities. So what makes yours right outside of the fact that you were born in an area where that religion is predominant, and the crapshoot was that your parents were going to teach you that as opposed to this? That's the argument that you just made for us, you idiot!
Let's see what else we got. Oh yeah, they'll say, how could you believe in a talking snake? Well, I've watched the Atheist Experience show, and I've literally seen talking asses. So of course I believe in talking snakes. And besides, you atheists, it's your messiah, Richard Dawkins. There's a video on YouTube where you can see the atheist messiah, Richard Dawkins, trying to explain how gorillas learn to talk. So atheists, why couldn't a snake talk? We know there's talking asses also. What else we got?
So yeah, I gave away my argument earlier, but this is the whole talking snake thing, and he's gonna relate the atheist experience to talking asses. Now, I'm not huge fans with a lot of the things that the atheist experience says, and I like some of the things that they do say. But that's the thing about us atheists, is we're all different. We're individuals. Like I said, our unity is the fact that we don't believe the stories. We're anti-theists. From that point, we become our own individuals, and we have our own individual beliefs. And I mean, that's a beautiful thing in my opinion. But to believe in a talking snake, that's possible, like even if you think that it was Satan who transformed into a snake. He's still transformed into the snake. He has the organs that a snake has. So, I mean, unless he used telepathy, then it doesn't work. And it does not say telepathy in the Bible. It clearly says that the damn snake talks. And a lot of this dude, Shock of God's explanations is, well, that's just the serpent is one of his nicknames, and he's also known as the dragon, and blah 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 blah. Bullshit. You say you believe in the scripture. Well, the scripture says a thing. Do you believe it or not? Stop being a damn hypocrite.
They'll say Christianity is evil because God destroyed Sodom and Gomorrah. And to that I only have 5 things to say. They always say, how could God be kind when he killed all those people in Sodom and Gomorrah? I have 5 things to say to that. Ah, the good old days.
Do you hear that? Do you hear this douchebag Shock of God celebrate the destruction of an entire city? I mean, how could you argue that the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah wasn't evil? Like, say it was an evil city. Okay, and the Bible's accurate and correct. Do you honestly believe that every single individual in that city would deserve to die for the actions of the other sinners? Do you think that there wasn't one person in that entire city that didn't believe in God? And yet God's just going to wipe away the entire city? That is an evil act. And how does Shock of God celebrate that act? With rejoice. But it gets worse.
Come on, God. Bring down your judgment. Strike it down, Lord. We need a little bit of judgment.
Is this your loving religion? Is this your loving God? Shock of God is sitting there. Come on, Lord, bring your judgment. We need some judgment. Talking about killing atheists, talking about killing Jews, talking about killing Muslims. Anybody that doesn't subscribe to the idea that this man who was born to a virgin mother came back from the dead to become God. I don't believe in zombies, so please, your zombie God needs to destroy me, and he is calling for that. I mean, this is your loving religion? This is your example of Christian debate? Dog, you're going to have to come a lot better than that, because you have been thoroughly destroyed, and I'm going to love destroying you further. I'm the Raging Atheist. Hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, share me on your social media. I'm pretty sure, Shock of God, I'll be seeing you soon.